still AIAW when I was here. It hadn't gone to NCAA yet. And I mean, I know back then you could go to the local high schools and recruit, but you didn't, I mean, you did not have to go through all the recruiting process that we do now. Lisa Delore.
Okay.
She was an outfielder. Patty Kent, Karen Smith. Quite, mostly, people that probably are not in the record books at all, because AIAW, I'm not sure how many records we actually kept here.
Mm-hmm.
Patty Kent was one of the best, I think. So, I mean, it's just come so far in 20 years or 30 years at the most. It's come so far because television, you wouldn't even think of it back then that you were going to be on TV at all. I mean, you might tape a game and then you'd go in and watch it on a TV, but that'd be about as close as you would get to anything on TV. I mean, it's just women's sports tremendously. They've grown. It's unbelievable how far women's sports have come.
I loved it here. Being in Midtown Detroit, first thing it was definitely, you could be scared of where you're at and where you're located in Detroit, but I was furthest away from being scared. I just had a really good time with meeting the people in my dorm, had a great roommate. The coaching staff here just made me feel like I was part of a family, and I'll never forget that. And that's something that I'm very proud of, when I talk about the university, like how it's like a fraternity here at Wayne State, and how when I made my debut, the first thing I thought of, besides calling my family, was I'm going to call every single one of my teammates that I went to Wayne State with when we won the championship my last year, and let them know, thank you for making me look good on the mound so that scouts can recognize me so I can get to where I am today, because I wouldn't be where I am if you guys didn't make those diving plays behind me or give me run support. And they always laughed like, no, that's all you, man. I'm like, no, like I genuinely mean that. I wouldn't be where I am today without those guys. And like that bond will never leave.
Well, first of all, it's a really good academic school. I think, too, Pat's been with me for 36 years, too, as a player, and 34 as a coach. And Nicole Abel's come on board, and she played 4 years. And I think this is her 6th year coaching with us. And anytime you have a continuity in staff and you're fortunate to be relatively successful, I think that tends to help. You can say this is, everybody would say this, but I get my name on a scoreboard, but it's all those kids that played before now. Certainly Pat, our program wouldn't be as good if Pat hadn't been here all these years. Coley's come on. I mean, it's the administrators, it's everybody. And I always tell people I'm at the end of the straw and I have to put somebody's name on there, and I got it.
Road trips, our spring training were a blast, where we got to go see things. Gary was really cool about taking us to Daytona Beach, and really carving out some time to have fun and to team build and do things like that. So swimming and having a great time. And we were going to Saginaw Valley to play, and we were pulling into the hotel, and she got the bus stuck in the overhang of the hotel and ripped off the emergency, that thing up on top there, the emergency escape. And we had to, and then she tried to back it up, and we were all trying very hard not to laugh on the inside, but there wasn't much we could do about it. And all the way home, one of the tallest people on our team had to hold the emergency hatch down while we drove home.